Hey, I'm making another video. Why? Because I need to get rid of these video files on my hard drive. They're taking up a lot of space, and I have a lot of them. So, for example, this 8 video clip, no, 8 minute clip, takes up like 2 gigs. Yeah, so there's some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which, this was recorded during the free weekend, which happened a little while ago, and I enjoy the game, so I got it. Yay. It's fun. I really like the AK-12 with the setup I have here, which is silencer, and then whatever that scope is, the one that illuminates enemies. Why do I like it? Not because it illuminates enemies, but because I find, like, compared to the red dot sight, it just I prefer this, like, how far it zooms in. I like the reticle and how it's a big square, you can see a lot of things, and it actually magnifies a little bit, so I think that it's better. It's better than the red dot. I just like it. It's a good sight. I wish it actually existed, even though I would have no use for it, because I don't own any guns. Yay, Canada. Yeah, so the new Call of Duty is pretty good. I mean, the movement in it is not as good as Titanfall is. I mean, I find it's pretty much just a little knockoff of Titanfall with the movement and stuff with the jetpacks. Like, it's not as fluent, and there's no wall running, and like the movement isn't as dynamic. Whatever the fuck that means in this context. I mean, I don't even know how the word fits in there. But I mean, like, it feels more static in a way. Kind of like I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it, but you don't move as fast or as fluently as you do in Titanfall. And I would say that's kind of to the fact that there's no wall running. And so, like, it doesn't feel like you actually have momentum when you jump in the new Call of Duty. But you can boost to the side, which I'm not sure if you could do in Titanfall. But you can do it here. And, yeah, I mean, if you like Call of Duty, sure, buy it. I mean, if you like Call of Duty, you're gonna like this. But if you're not a fan of Call of Duty, it's still Call of Duty, but it's just different enough for it to be enjoyable. If you're not a Call of Duty fan, I would describe it like that. And it's just different enough for you to actually get enjoyment out of it. But if you don't like the old Call of Duty way, which is pretty much just custom classes with kill streaks that get you more kill streaks and other stuff, and a piss poor PC port. Well, it's not that bad, but there are big performance problems, as you can see right now. Yeah, it's not really good with performance-wise, and well, let's say, what's the word? Optimization. Yeah, they didn't do a good job optimizing it, really. I mean, it does look good though. It's just not It's just poorly optimized, really. I mean, not as bad as Verdun is, because Verdun is like, hey, it looks like a source mod, and you can run it at 30 FPS. Oh, okay. If it wasn't a good game, I wouldn't be playing it. Verdun is just so fun, but it only runs at like 30 FPS my machine, which runs Call of Duty pretty much consistently at 60 FPS. I say pretty much consistently because there are a lot of frame drops, but it's not consistently dropping, right? Like, there's big drops, sure, but they happen very, very inconsistently. Like, they only happen like every 5 games. But when they happen, they're really bad because, like, oh, you got 0.5 frames per second. What? What? I didn't even think that was possible. So yeah. Less than 1 frame per second. It's really bad. It is really bad with the optimization. But it could be worse. I mean, it could have no FOV options. Or they could have disabled the ability to rebind keys. Or they could have taken away leaning. Which, now that I think about it, isn't that important in Call of Duty, because, I mean, really no one uses it. And it's, especially now that you're jumping around with jetpacks and jumping, like, sprinting everywhere. Well, kind of sprinted everywhere before, but now that you're hopping around, leaning doesn't even matter. Like, it matters less than it did before. And that was nothing. But they have it. It's still there. Battlefield doesn't have it. Counter-Strike doesn't have it. But Arma does, and so does Red Orchestra. So, I guess you could say it's a little more realistic than Counter-Strike. Not that that's realistic, though. It looks realistic, but it is not. Because it's an arcade shooter like Call of Duty. But it takes more skill. Because, as you see with Call of Duty, I can do good. If I can do good at it, no skill is required. Or the people I'm playing with are really bad. There's also that. I can kill people while at 0.5 frames per second. No skill is required. Yeah. So, yeah, that's another video where I talked about shit. Hope you enjoyed, because I'm out of things to talk about and there's still video left, and by the time I find something to talk about, the video's gonna be over. And, oh, look at that, it's almost over. I'm just gonna end it now. Goodbye. See you later. I'm still talking. I don't know why.
Looks like you just added a few zeros to those bonus checks, gentlemen. Good work.
Oh man.